Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a new video series, Sunday Thoughts with TommyLew. Now, today is a Sunday. I have some thoughts and I thought I'd share them with you. Before I get started, do me a favour, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, only if you're enjoying. Leave a comment down in the comment section below, have a little discussion with what I'm about to say, the topic of this video, of which I think is a good one. Now, we've come to that exciting time of year. Two rival next-gen consoles have been shown to the public, and we are now getting to that point where we're forced to pick a side. Unless you're a baller, of course, and you can just buy both of them. But for most of us, it's going to come down to which console is bigger, which console is badder, and in that aspect, probably only one is going to come out on top. Possibly the biggest debate in recent gaming history is which console is better, the Xbox or the PlayStation. Now, I was talking to a friend the other day, and we briefly mentioned the consoles, and I asked him, I said to him, which one do you think you're going to get? And he replied, which I thought was very interesting, he replied saying, I'll probably get the Xbox because that's what I've always gone with. Now, I can understand this train of thought. My recent gaming history has been heavily in the Xbox category as well. My first console was a PS2, but then I remember that moment when I first saw an Xbox 360. My mind was completely blown. It was, at the time, it was a huge step up, and I think a lot of people kind of accepted that in that generation, Xbox sort of took the charge and they came out on top. And I have some great gaming memories with my 360. Then, of course, came out the One, and sort of like he said, even though people were saying, the tides have shifted, the tides have turned, PlayStation are back on top, I opted to go for the Xbox One. Why? Because I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. I liked the interface. I know other people's didn't. I loved the controller. And at the time, I loved the games. And also, my friends were buying it, which is a huge... You can't underestimate the huge impact that has on a player. You say to someone, don't get that console, get this one. Well, if all of their friends are going to be playing one specific thing, of course, they're going to get what their friends are playing. So, going back to the original point, I do understand that loyalty. If you have one brand of console for a hell of a long time, you've almost got a connection to that thing. The memories it's given you, the experiences it's given you, whether that's online or solo, that's you. That belongs to you. And not even forgetting, over the massive years that these are out for, the catalogue of the library of games that you will build up. I can't even tell you on my Xbox hard drive how many games I've accumulated. Probably edging up to 200. Maybe that's a bit extreme, but it's kind of insane. So, to that extent, I kind of understand why it makes sense to remain with Xbox. However, and this is a big however. Now, let me give you a little bit of backstory into my situation, which changed drastically 6 months ago. So for the past 3.5 years, I'd been living in China, working as an English foreign language teacher. I had my Xbox out there, and in January, it's their winter holiday, I decided to come back to England for a 2-week holiday. Not long, but I just thought, why not? So 2 weeks, I wasn't going to bring my Xbox. I wanted to see friends and family that I hadn't seen in over a year. 3 days after I came back is when the pandemic happened. Firstly out there, and then of course we all know it spread around the world to the point where I couldn't return, and I still currently can't return, leaving my beloved Xbox in an empty apartment halfway around the world. So what did I do to eventually cure my gaming cravings? I bought a PS4. I know, blasphemy, especially for all you Xbox fans. But all I can actually say is, wow. A lot of people talked about the PlayStation, how it did things better. And I never really, and yet especially it comes to exclusives, the games. I know this sounds silly, but I never really thought that mattered. I thought as long as you're enjoying a console, that's the experience that you should want and look for and take away. I may have been a bit wrong. I've been turned. And it's the games. From Last of Us to God of War to the Uncharted's to Horizon Zero Dawn to Spider-Man, which I have sitting right here. I've possibly had a better time playing just those titles than I have over the space of a few months. In the span of, years with Xbox playing standard cross-platform titles, which are good. Don't get me wrong, I had good times with them, but they just don't compare. So I have to hand it to Sony. I was naive. I was blind. Like I say, I have been turned. I am... Not that you need to pick a side, okay? You don't need to pick a side, of course you don't. We can all appreciate for everything for each its own, but I have to hand it to Sony. Everyone's all this time been saying, Sony are about the games, Sony are about the games. And they are. They really, really are. And of course, the Sunday thought, next-gen consoles, which one to get? There is no doubt in my mind that when I never usually buy a console on release, but when it comes to that time, I will be getting myself a PlayStation 5. I mean, also, if you look at the latest, reveals, I mean, Xbox's was laughable. The so-called gameplay they showed was minimal and dull. The presentation was poor, whereas you compare it to the PlayStations, they had everything on lock. The games looked better, the presentation was better, the gameplay was there, and also this is personal preference. I thought the console looked way better than the Xbox X series or whatever it is. So those are my Sunday thoughts. I have been converted and Sony have won me over, so well done to the PlayStation crew. You've got another gamer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to let me know your Sunday thoughts in the comments below. What do you make on this whole war? Which will you be picking up? Or do you have a PC and you could not give a crap about any of this talk? Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video and you think there's any other topics you'd like to hear me talk about, leave that in the comments too. Until then, I've been TommyLew. Thank you for watching and listening. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.